People look at what you do and they like, oh, you supposed to be a Christian, but you out here drinking, you out here, and it's just like, don't come at me with that kind of funk. Judge me not, at least ye be judged. I mean, it's me, Regina B, and I am headed up to the track to get like a little mile run in, because the last 2 days I did 5K 2 days in a row, and I don't want to risk an injury by going another 3 miles. So I'm just gonna do 1 mile, because I like to what I want to do for this month is I want to finish my weeks off with like a 10K. So I'm just coming up to the track. It's still gonna be challenging because it's outdoors, but yeah, I'm just gonna come up here, do a quick little mile. Yesterday's game was awesome. We won, played against Ruskin. Those boys gave up early. Ruskin did. It was like 38-6. So I'm doing that. Then I'm also gonna run this energy out because I'm irritated with my husband. He's just, that's the ebbs and flows of being in a relationship with someone, especially, we have this book by Judy Berry for the girls, or Joy Berry. It's called Fighting. And it says, it gives you reasons sometimes why people fight. And one of the reasons is like spending too much time together. And so with him, working some days and not working other days, we can both start to get on each other's nerves and get irritated. And that's just a reality, and it's truthful, and it's a mature thing to admit. Like, he gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love him. So I'm coming to run that out. And then today is Taco Tuesday, so I am going to go to El Atino here locally, and I'm gonna get some flautas. They're basically like bomb.com taquitos, and I'm gonna get a chicken taco. And been editing I guess a vlog from Sunday, and then I have another one from yesterday. And then I feel like once I get the hang of vlogging and editing vlogs, I feel like I'll be able to upload them on the days that I actually filmed them. So yeah, about to get after it. Do this mile real quick and have mommy me time, have fun time, worship run. I'm gonna obviously pray about what's getting on my nerves with my husband and try to be the best version of ourselves. 2020. Hey you guys, what's up? I am back from my run. I am on my way to El Atino. I think it's EL space ATENO. It's like this little I don't want to call it mom and pop restaurant, but it's family owned, you can tell. And I just love them. They're here local. And I'm about to get my 2 chicken flautas and a chicken taco, and I am about to tear it up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm also getting used to like filming in my car and filming out in public. And since it's new to me, it's obviously awkward, but I gotta press through awkwardness if I want to get to a place of confidence in any area that I'm not feeling confident. So I finished my run, and it was great, and the wind was just blowing so wonderfully. I hit shuffle on my music, and Tide Trip It was the 2 songs that I listened to, because I only did a mile. I finished my mile at 10:10. My fastest pace was 9:18, and I'm happy with that. When I first started running, that was my goal, was to get down to a 10-minute mile. And when I got down lower than 10 minutes, that's when I injured my groin. So I was just going too hard. But it was a great run. I was going to film myself talking on the track once I finished, but instead I decided to pray. when I finish sweat, I have lashes on. And one of the things about lashes, these are individual lashes. One of the things about lashes when you're a runner, and if you sweat, like I sweat, when you're dripping down from your forehead, some of your sweat will get caught up in your lashes and then get into your eyes, and it just stings and it burns because it's, you know, it's basically salt water. Sweaty salt water. So I was just like, oh Lord, oh Jesus, like, oh, my eyes are burning. And I hit the curb on the track, and this gust of wind just blew, and I couldn't do anything but say thank you, Jesus, because I just felt like he was like, here you go, because that wind just dried up my sweat, and it was just heavenly. And I was like, thank you. But I'm going to learn how to do more filming on my phone, because for some reason my earbuds, the mic on my earbuds don't work when I use my earbuds on my iPad. But when I use it on my phone, I noticed when I was editing this video, not this video, but another video, is that the mic does work when I film on my phone. And then also, I had watched a bunch of videos about, you know, uploading and filming YouTube videos, and one of the people said that you should turn your camera around so that it's not on selfie mode, so that you're looking into the camera. But what I'm noticing, I don't like that. I mean, I know it looks like, their perspective was, it looks like you're talking to yourself, and to me it's like, well, that's fine because I am. And when I was vlogging the other day, I want to be able to see what my kids are doing behind me. And I can't really do that if I'm filming out of the window or something, I can't see what they're doing. And when I do a vlog, I want to include them in it, and I want to be able to, you know, laugh or get them to say something instead of just panning on them and just, you know, hold the camera on them. So anyway, but I am here at the little Mexican grill. I'm about to pick up my food. I'm gonna go home. Ben Corson just uploaded a new sermon called Alcohol, which that got me hyped this morning. I was like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. Because for the scriptures that he talks about, I've seen those scriptures before because I've prayed a certain prayer and then I did a certain study, and this is just confirmation of that prayer and confirmation of that study. So I'm super excited to go home, eat my food. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do, and I don't know if I'll come back on or not after I take my shower and stuff, but we'll see. Peace. Oh, not to hate on Chipotle, but you get all of this for the same price, a little bit less actually. This was all $7.55. You get all of this for the same price that you would pay for one burrito at Chipotle. And depending on the meat you get, you pay even more. So this was $7.55. I tipped them $1 just because, you know, they brought it out to me and it was prepared, and that's what I decided to tip. But anyway, yes, honey, you get all of this. I'm about to tear this up. Like, he's the reason for it all right here. He's the reason I'm about to enjoy this wonderful meal. Okay, how's it feel to provider? But yeah, I'm about to tear this up. I know I ain't about to be able to eat all this, but yeah. Hey guys, I am back. As you can see, I have changed. I have showered. I'm in my chill clothes. You know, this is probably what I'm going to sleep in, because most days after my run, after I shower, whatever I put on is whatever I'm going to be sleeping in. So this is, you know, basically my lounge clothes, my night-night clothes as we call them. I decided to go ahead and end the vlog. I know in my last video, when I was at the restaurant, I said I didn't know if I was going to do another video or if I was just going to let that be the end of it. But I decided to because Phil needed to run to the store and he decided to take the girls with him. Josiah is still at football. So I'm here all alone. I love my family, but anybody, I mean, there is 6 of us. So and people ask me all the time, like, how do you talk through the noise, or if someone comes over and we're talking and they're in the background and they're like, it's just, that's my background noise. That's my family. I asked for them. I wanted them. And, you know, if they need me, they know to come up and tap me or anything or something like that. But yeah, I'm here by myself. So I said, why not in this vlog? So it is evening time basically. Harper's home from the bus stop. Like I said, Josiah's at football. He will be back soon. And today has been a blessed day. You know, I have no complaints. I have no gripes or grumbles. I've really taught myself to not complain and grumble. That's in the word as well. You know, don't be complaining and grumbling. That's what the Israelites did a lot of the times. So I really try not to complain and mumble and grumble about stuff, because I know that I'm blessed. I know that I'm thankful for what I have. I'm thankful for the good days. I'm thankful for the bad days. I'm more so thankful for the bad days. Don't let me get to talking and I have a bunch of bad days. But, you know, when you have bad days, it just makes the good days even more of a joy and even more of a peace. And so I'm good for that. I'm glad for that too. My food was delicious. It was so good. If you guys live in the Kansas City metro area, look up LEL space ATENO. I mean, sometimes I don't like suggesting restaurants to people, because you have some people that are just not going to like it because you like hype it up so much. But I don't care. You know, my son, he's the real one. So it was his first time tasting of their flautas today. And he was like, okay, it's good. And so, you know, I saved some for Phil. I'm still full from it. And I didn't even eat. All I ate was one of the flautas and half of the chicken taco, because I gave Ava the other half because she woke up from her nap. I ate some of the tortillas, some of the salsa, and a little bit of the rice and beans. So it was a lot left over for them to like nosh on. But it was so, so good. You know, and it does help your local economy, the city that you live in, when you spend locally. Chipotle is great and all that, but lately I will say, since quarantine has happened, their food tastes like it has way more preservatives in it. It just, something about it just ain't sitting right. But yeah, so the food was delicious. I was able to listen to Ben Corson's sermon that he uploaded today. It was so on point. I always say, Ben is beneficial. I found him through watching the Hillsong channel, and I don't even watch the Hillsong channel. I don't really watch it that much now anymore, because with everything that's going on, I really use it as like preschool, as story time. They have people on YouTube reading stories and different things. But it was so on point. When I say Ben is beneficial, what I mean for that, and his name is Ben Corson, BenCourson. He's the answer to a prayer that I prayed that was like, Lord, help me find someone that can give me your word, feed me your word, that's like me. And we're not the same color. I'm brown, he's white, but we're alike. I like his research style. I like how he gives you the background story of what was happening at the time, what words mean in the Greek language. Because English, not even the King James Version, but English has dulled down deep meaning words that not only give enlightenment, but set you free when you read them in the Greek context. And you're just like, and he was the first person that got me interested in that. That's why I downloaded the Blue Letter Bible app, because I'm like, no, I want to know Greek words, you know. So he did a fantastic job. He covered Ephesians 5. He was a confirmation of another prayer I prayed when I was just like, Lord, I do drink. I like to drink. But if I'm sinning against you, please, please, please guide me to the right thing to do. Because, you know, I say this all the time. My husband laughs. I don't want to be on the wide road. I want to be on the narrow road that people miss. You know, and so I had said that prayer. in my personal journal and my personal Bible study that I picked for myself. Because after I said that prayer, I go to the back of the book, to the index, and I look up the word, whatever word it is, like alcohol or drunkenness or anything like that. And then I just kind of journal about it and read all the scriptures that reference to it. And he hit on two of the scriptures and one story from Jesus that nobody talks about. He's the first person I've heard preach on it. The first person. You know, when I first read it, I was like, how did I skip over this story? But he basically is talking to the Pharisees, or it could have been the Sadducees. They was all coming at him. But he was saying to them, John the Baptist came eating honey and locusts, and you called him a devil. I come eating and drinking, and you call me a drunkard. And man, I got to journaling. I was like, Father in heaven, like that's what people do. People look at what you're doing. They like, oh, you supposed to be a Christian, but you out here drinking. You out here, and it's just like, don't come at me with that kind of funk. Judge me not, least ye be judged. I mean, so, to hear him preach on it, it was just a confirmation. I was already blessed when I did my personal intimate study with the Spirit. I always pray, Lord, bless my spirit with truth and understanding that I may know your word. So it was a great word. And then the way that he preached Ephesians was a new way for me, because he gave the historical background, and then he gave context as to, with that historical background, he gave some context as to why Paul was saying the things that he said. And those particular scriptures, if you check out Ephesians 5, I think he read 1 through 12. I've always saw those scriptures used as a way to rule and be cruel. Okay, rule and be cruel. But, like, to kind of tell people, the sermons that I've heard in church is more so telling people, like, if you out here and you drinking and you gambling and you this and you that, and, and that's not actually what Paul was saying in his letter. I was like, when he gave a backstory and he gave some historical story and he gave some truth about what the Corinthians were practicing, the Greek terminology for sexual immorality and what they were doing, it was just like, whoa. And it got me, this is side note, it got me excited. I was like, Lord, this is what I want to do. I want to go to the library, like Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, maybe even Ephesians. I'm not sure, but I know that a lot of Paul's writings was like 45 AD, 55 AD. And I'm going to go to the library and get some history books on Greek and Rome at that time. I know a lot about, well, I'm not going to say a lot, but I was in the history in school. So I do know a lot of their practices were very sexual. Like if you ever watched 300, when they had the girl in the temple and the men were basically, sexualizing her or doing whatever they were doing, that was practices that they did. Obviously, she wasn't like a ghost. It was like a real woman. And that's the kind of things that these high priests in these false religions did. They used sex and they used hallucinogens to conjure up just false stuff. But yeah, you can research that. But I used to always be into that. And, they were very much, in Rome, they were very much into the body. They were very much into, nudity. And they were very sexually fluid even back then. So the fact that he's the first person that has taken biblical truth facts and tied it into history. And when I go through the Old Testament, sometimes I would do that just to, I would just Google different things. And a lot of things that are from the Old Testament, like monuments and things like that, are still there. I really, really was interested when I think it was papyrus, when the volcano exploded hundreds and hundreds of years ago and killed the whole community, and their bodies were, because of the type of lava and ash it was. Their bodies were like frozen in place. I used that to kind of, I don't know if that is Sodom and Gomorrah, but just the imagery of it and the history of it and the story of it. I used that to go back and read Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot and his wife, and it just gave me some really awesome energy. I saw somebody walking, it scared me. That's my husband. Oh, I got your debit card, Donna. It's on the mantle. It's right there on the mantle. I use that, just the imagery of it, because it's like, it helps you imagine hellfire in a different way. It could have been a volcano that exploded, but the biblical account was, it was a fire. It was a firestorm, and that's what happened to these people. If I had my phone, I would Google it, because I don't like to be saying stuff wrong, but if you look it up, it's going to come up. When that volcano exploded, it rained fire and ashes onto that. So it just gave me a different way to think of it. Like you were telling Abraham, and the angels was telling Lot what was to come, but this is the element, this is the earthly creation that you used to do it. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm going to get back into that. Some stuff I do and then I stop doing it, and then God reminds me in these really awesome ways of like, you were doing that and then you kind of stopped. Now I'm reigniting that fire. David says, create in me a clean heart and renew a steadfast spirit within me, a restored spirit. So I've been restored back to my little history geek ways, and I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna go ahead and put some books on hold after this is done, but so yeah, I had a really good after run experience, and I really enjoyed listening to his sermon. I really enjoy his style, enjoy his flow. It definitely was a blessing. Like I said, I prayed for someone who looks like me, and if you would have known me before, no offense at all, but some little Oregon, Californian white dude talking about Star Wars and stuff, I probably would have been like, I don't want to listen to him. But just on the right day, at the right time, I was watching Hillsong Channel, and at first I was going to change it, because I'm like, and then I was like, well, let me see what he's talking about. And I was like, oh yes, and he's in his 30s, us 30s. Like somebody said, us new age Christians got people shooketh. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to finish out our evening. My son wants me to cook rotel for dinner on a Tuesday. And I think my husband and Ava want hamburgers and fries. It's so funny. Me and my husband joked about it, and me and my friend that I run with joked about it. It was like back in our day, it was like, this what you eating. Come eat. But, me, and then even my friend, we were joking, does this glare get on people's nerves? Leave a comment. I don't know. Before, I'm trying a different way of filming as well. I have it on selfie mode, which I was told not to do that in a video, because you look at yourself instead of at the camera. And either way, I've seen people that do it either way. And if I like your content, I like you, I'm not that nitpicky to where I'm like, you looking at. Anyway, but yeah, we made that joke of like, now we're like, well, what do you guys want to eat today? I took out hamburger meat. What you want me to make with it? So he went to the store. He took the girls to the store with him. So I do have some alone time. And as you can see, he had to come back because he left his card. And yeah, what I'll do is, depending on what ends up being the family's choice to eat, I'm going to cook that. Girlfriends is on Netflix. So I'm going to be watching Netflix. I'm going to find some of these books, because and can I say this also, even though this was history and this was years and years ago in Roman and Greek times, like 45 years after death, which is a very, very young, that's young, 45 years after death, But anyway, God's been working on me since I've watched a couple of videos that some would say is, I don't want to say it's conspiracy theorist, but I do think that sometimes when you're a person that's an overthinker, you see things that others may not see. And so I've been watching a lot of videos, just been peeping a lot of different stuff, you know, listening, hearing my son before he gets ready for football. You know, he has the Fire Stick in his room now. And so just peeping the music that he's listening to and kind of peeping the imagery that's on there. We always have a talk with him of like, that's imagined, that they're acting, you know what I mean? You don't really know anything about these people other than they're an artist and this is their song. But all this other stuff that they doing. So what I was trying to say about that is the reason that Paul talks so much about sexual immorality is because back then it was so intertwined, and even false religions. So sexual immorality is like that. You know, some of their temples and these false gods had prostitutes in there, and you would go and worship, and the way that they worship was having sex with the prostitutes, and then that's the funds that the prostitutes got from that is how they kept the temple afloat. And so I say all that to say, you know how Paul always tells us to be very sharp, be sober. You know, he's always telling us to just be on our guard. And a lot of the songs are super over-sexualized. Super over-sexualized. And I'm just seeing the high school girls, and I get it. I'm not counting nobody out. We had we ushered this in. Our generation ushered this in. If you really want to think about, you know, the rappers that we were listening to growing up, and maybe was still listening to, and still do listen to sometimes. But, you know, we had the Little Kims, and we had the Foxy Browns, and we had the Trina. And, you know, each generation is on a whole new level than the other one. And they're on a whole new level because they have technology and things like that. I'm just kind of looking at how they carry themselves, just kind of listening to conversations that I hear at football games and different things. And God is at work. So in the end, he's gonna win. You know what I mean? In the end, if you go to Revelations, when Jesus mounted that horse, it's done. You know, but I'm not rushing it. You know, the Bible tells us not to rush it. But anyway, the devil is at work. And my grandmother used to always say that. My great-grandmother used to always say that, and I see it. And he's definitely at work. We have to remember that there's only a small percentage of people who own media outlets. Look into it. You know, who own NBC, who own Fox, who own the CW. That's why I don't watch regular TV, because I'm not trying to see your paid programming. I'm not. I like what I like, and that's that. And whatever I watch is whatever I feel. But, you know, a lot of the music industry is owned by a small percentage of people that, if you look into some of the things that they have said, that they have done, that they do, you will see why music is so sexualized. So I think I might want to get into that. But first, I'm just going to go with my first, like, ooh, Lord. And I'm just going to find the books from Rome and Greece at that time, and I'm going to use my Blue Letter Bible app because I want to see the Greek words, and I want to see how to say the Greek words and the Greek definitions. And then I'm going to use my regular Bible because I like to touch, you know, just the paper. And then I'm going to find a history book, and we're going to get into it. And if the Lord wants, this is such a long into a vlog. I did not expect this. But, you know, my baby's left, and so now I'm just getting everything out that's been swirling in my head. But, yeah, if the Lord wants me to film that, I will. You know, I definitely keep my personal Bible studies intimate. I do them by myself. I find somewhere to sit, and I just yeah, journal and read and connect things. But yeah, so we're gonna end today. It has been a great day. It's been a beautiful fall day, just wonderful. I'm going to give you guys a runner tip, but before I do that, let me just say, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please like this video, and you can leave a comment if you'd like. Yeah, and follow me. Sometimes I'm like, what all? Follow me on my Instagram at Regina Berlinette. It is private, but if you send me a request, I will accept you. And my business one is at The Message Clothing Company. That's the one that I typically am on the most, just seeing updates for vendor events, other products that people are dropping that live locally. You know, I follow someone that makes soaps, someone that makes like Yoni Wash. I follow my homegirl. She makes head wraps, Legacy Accessories, you know, a fitness lady. Just different people that make different things. A girl that makes these bomb earrings. I can't wait to wear them. And so I'm usually over there. And then I just, whatever I post on there is what posts on my other Instagrams, like Regina Berlinette and everything else. So my runner tip. This is a leg roller. I didn't think this was important when I was getting into it, but this thing is awesome. Leg rolling really does soothe your muscles. It really does help recovery after like a vigorous workout or a run, and it really does help prevent injury. Definitely do your own research, because the word that it is in the body, I can't think of it, but it helps with blood flow and oxygen circulation throughout your muscles and throughout your body, which just helps sustain your muscle, because you can overwork your muscles and you can overuse your muscles, which will tire your muscles out and lead to injury. Learn that the hard way. So yeah, this, you can leg roll your calves, you can leg roll your quads, your hamstring, your back, your glutes. It feels good on your glutes and your back, your lower back. If you're someone, and let's say you're not even really like, maybe not a runner, but you sit a lot, leg roll your glutes and your lower back, and even go on YouTube. There's great YouTube videos that I've watched that show you how to leg roll. And like, let's say you have back pain, you can, there's a Yogi Approved. I like them. She had a really good video on leg rolling, and I've done some of their yoga stuff too. And Gayam Yoga is actually on YouTube as well, and they have a leg rolling video. But yeah, invest in one of these puppies. This one is for like the ridges. It's for like a deeper tissue massage. And then this one is just, you can kind of like sit on it. If you feel something but you don't want to go deep like that, you can just kind of roll with this. So that's the point of the ridges. But yeah, definitely invest in one of these. This was not very expensive. I had this for a while. This is 321 Strong brand. And I got this off of Amazon, and I think I paid no less than $20. I don't even think it was $20. So yeah, and if you go to a gym or community center, they usually have some there that you can use. That's my runner tip for today. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, for supporting me, for spending this time with me. As I like to say, because it's so true, time is the most expensive, most just expensive thing in the world, because you never get time back. So thank you for spending this time with me. You could have spent your time doing anything else, but you chose to spend it with me, and I am eternally grateful for that Thank you. And as always, I just want to remind you, and I just want to say it because I like to say it. You blessed. I'm blessed. We